giving you an opportunity to get the full story from the people who tell it best. This is Mediacom Newsleaders.
Welcome to Newsleaders. I'm James Mauser. Thank you for joining us today. And we're going to go into the art world, explorations in color. Doesn't that sound like a fantastic title? I hear the show is as fantastic as well. This is Kate Gray, director for the Montemini Gallery. Hi, Kate.
Hi. Hello.
It is Gallery, Montemini Gallery, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where this current show has been happening, since September?
Since September 7th, we opened.
Yeah, so we still have this month, and it closes?
November 3rd is the last day. So hopefully everybody has enough time to go out and see it because I think it's magnificent.
Yeah, when she came in, we were talking before the segment, you were just saying how explosive these colors are. And the works are gigantic.
A lot of them are very big, and so you get a different perspective of color when you walk into the gallery. Some of them are human scale, and so you see color in a new way, as opposed to possibly something that's a little bit smaller. And when I curated this show, I wanted to have that kind of range of size because I think size is important to inform the viewer of different ways of looking at things.
Sure.
And so Scott Patrick Myers, our photographer in the show, and his work is the largest of them all. So I wanted to pair also different ways of looking at color from different perspectives, media, that sort of thing. So there's a photographer, and then there's two painters. John Fennell and Jen Wiggs are also in the show. Okay. And it's very informative about how color affects us.
All right, so we're going to try to affect our viewers right now with a few samples, right?
Okay, yeah, definitely.
The first one is from Jen.
Yes, so Jen works in very simple shapes that are abstracted. And then what she does is she takes this idea of very simple colors and then she makes them more and more and more complex as she builds and layers her work, which gives her work an extreme depth and interest to it. She is a huge fan of gray, or the lack of gray, and the idea that gray allows all the other colors to come to life. So when you see her work when you're at the exhibition, you'll really get a chance to understand how she uses color to inform how we see other colors and using very simple shapes.
You know, you wouldn't think all this is going on behind the work.
It's crazy.
But it really is, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So that's Jen. Let's move on to John.
Okay.
That's
So in the show, John has 3 mini shows within his work. So his first is how he views color through nature. And the second one is through urban-inspired environments. And then the fourth one is abstracted or geometric forms of color. So when you come to the show, you're going to see one artist, 3 different perspectives on how he uses color. And he is a huge fan of this idea of color creating visual music. And so when you see the work, I personally couldn't help but hear jazz or some sort of orchestra playing. And so the color really starts to form how, when you think about it, art in that way, when you think about using color as a visual way to talk about music, it's really informative.
You know, that's funny. This is true. When I first saw this, I would say something musical did come to mind. Just the way it looked, this particular one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why. So now you're explaining to me why.
Yeah, and that's so interesting that you just picked up on it, subconsciously. But when you come into the show, if you were to pair each one of these paintings with a type of music, you get a chance to experience the art a little differently.
Really?
So, yeah.
Okay, and then the photographer, right? That's Scott?
That's Scott's work. Scott Patrick Myers' work is what he wants to do is take, there's photographs everywhere, and he understands that. But how do you take a photograph that captured a moment in time and make it timeless? And so he uses nature as his subject, and he captures almost an abstract of nature in one moment in time that will never be that way again, and prints that and makes that into a form of he likes to call it a miracle of everyday existence. And so his work is really an explosion of that ideal or idea, and just beautiful. And his idea about looking at color through nature's eyes is really fascinating too.
Got to see this. It's all up through November the 3rd.
Yes.
At the Mini Gallery,
Yes.
Boone County History and Culture Center, boonehistory.org for more information.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kate, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Glad
You
to
brought
be here.
so much color into our world today.
It's my pleasure. Thank
Kate
you for
Grant,
asking
thank
me.